Today we're going to do a roller change in a GFP 363TH. One thing to note is that almost all of the GFP machines are identical in the way you remove the rollers, put them back in, making any necessary adjustments. So the first thing we'll do is remove the hand wheel and the side cover from this side. When you pull this apart, make sure you pay attention to the key in the keyway. You don't want to lose that. After the side cover is removed, we'll unscrew the ceramic cap, set that down, and then grab an 8mm wrench. We're going to take the screw off, or the nut off, rather. Separate all the washers, and now we're ready to go over to the other side of the machine. So on this side of the machine, we're going to remove our basket, the knobs, and our side cover. So I'll set that down here for the time being, and then I'm just going to take all the knobs off. With the side cover off, I'm going to go ahead and remove the heater from that top roller. So again, I'll remove the ceramic caps, my 8mm wrench, take all the washers and the wire off, set those down there. Okay, once we remove the wire, if we're just going to do a heater change, we would take these two screws out here. There are nuts on the back side, so be aware of the nuts and the washers. Then we're going to take that whole thing off. Then to replace just the heater, you would take these nuts off. There's one on the inside here, and then when you put the new heater on, make sure that you put the nuts back in place. But for this, we're doing a roller change. I'm going to leave this assembly all in one piece. So I'll go in and I'll get this loosened up. Then I can start to remove that. We will set that down. And there's the washer and nut. Come over and do this one. Once I get that loose, then I can get the washer and nut off of there. The washer and nut. Now again, if we were doing just the heater change, this will slide out and you can see the two nuts that are on there. You would separate these, and then when you put your new heater in, put this nut on first, bracket, then the foam pad, and then the other nut, and then tighten it in place. Now, before you start to take these pressure regulating blocks off on this side, make sure that you have this top roller resting on the bottom roller. So I'm just going to go ahead, and I can turn this down by hand, and I just want it to rest there. I don't want to put any pressure on it or anything like that. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove these two screws right here. Then I'm going to remove the gear. And there are two washers on there. One's a retainer that fits around the shaft, and then the other one just holds everything in place. So once we have those out, I will go in here. And I want to get this loosened up and removed. We'll slide that gear off. Again, there's a key in the keyway. You want to make sure that you do not lose this key, so I'm just going to take it out and set it down there. Now, with this assembly taken apart, I'm going to go around to the inside, and I'm going to knock the roll pins. You can see the two roll pins in here. I'm going to knock those through, and then this whole assembly will slide right off. So sometimes these roll pins will come out very easily, and other times you might have to persuade them a little bit. So I'm just going to tap them lightly. Just a little bit on each side until I hear it clear. Okay, now they're clear, so I can come back over here. And I'm going to remove the lift mechanism. Now, it's best to try to keep this oriented the way you took it out. That way you won't have to have as much adjustment when you put it back in. So it came out, I didn't let it rotate fully. When I put it back in, it's going to be really close, and it'll make my nip adjustment easier when I get ready to do that. So I'll set this off to the side. Then we're going to remove these outer screws on the half moon from the inside of the side frame. So we'll come over here. We're going to remove these 4 screws. So I'll take the 2 top ones out and the bottom one here. Then I'm going to hold on to that plate when I remove that last screw, because it's more than likely that plate's going to fall out on me. So I'll come in. I'll get these taken out. And then when I remove this last one, I'm going to go ahead and grab hold of that plate, because that's going to fall out on me. Okay. And there's the plate. Now with the half moon off, we're going to go ahead and start to pull that roller out. So, well, first of all, I'll come around to the front. I'm going to raise the feed tray, put the locks in place, and then what we'll do is we're going to take this roller, we're going to slide it over a little bit to the left, and then pull it out, because we want to get it out of that pressure regulating block on that side. And then we're just going to walk the roller out. So we're going to lift this up, slide it toward the half moon side a little bit till it gets out of the pressure regulating block. And then John's going to go ahead and pull till I can get it right there. Then I'll come in and we'll grab hold of that, and then we're going to set that down. So now what we have to do is we have to remove this sprocket and chain from the journal on this roller. Sometimes this will slide off easily, other times it might be a little tight. So what you'll want to do is turn your chain to the point where your master link is at the top, so it makes it easier for you to remove if you have to take that off. So to do so, we're going to take our screwdriver and we're going to go in and loosen up all of the motor mount screws. And once I get all of those loose, I'm just going to squeeze that chain as tight as I can and then tighten just one of the screws back down. And now you see I have a fair amount of slop in that chain. Sometimes, like I said, I can either, I can try to get this chain off just by pulling it up, and other times it's not going to come up. And this one is going to make me take the master link out. So I've got these loosened rather. So I'll pull this master link off just like that. We'll set that down and we'll get this off, slide the link out. Now I can drop the chain and then pull that right off. You'll notice that there is a keyway in this roller, and when you put that back together, you want to match that with one of the retaining bolts that's on there, just like this, so you can see when I put it on, it's going to go the same way. Now at this point, we have to lift this roller up and slide it up into the half moon so we can get it out of the pressure regulating block on the other side, bearing block, and then we'll take that out and put the new roller in. Ready? Okay. When you put the new roller in, you want to make sure that you line up that bearing block. There are flat spots on it that match up with the side frame.